Next up, we have a video from a mother named Misty who recently shared something she doesn't typically put out online. Unlike her usual content, this particular post left a huge number of her followers both unsettled and genuinely alarmed. It's a brief clip she filmed straight from her baby monitor, showing her daughter lying asleep in her crib. What makes this so strange though is that despite her daughter being completely still, the camera was detecting movement. Her daughter clearly wasn't the source of it, which means something else in that room had to be. Misty's first thought was that her older daughter might still be sleeping in there, which would have explained everything. Except she isn't.
We moved my daughter out of this room, now she's across the hall. But we got all the furniture in, the TV hung.
Her older daughter had recently moved into a different room in the house, so if she's not the one responsible, then what exactly is causing that movement? Misty keeps watching the feed, waiting for something to reveal itself, but nothing seems to show up at first. Then, on closer inspection, she spots it. Here's the moment she realized something was off. Disturbingly, it looks as though someone or something is occupying the bunk bed, yet nobody was supposed to be sleeping there or even in that room at all. Her older daughter used to stay there, but she's long since moved to her own space, which raises a deeply unsettling question. Just who or what was lying on that bed? Misty still hasn't found an answer, and it's exactly why she's been uploading footage, hoping someone out there might be able to explain it. To put it plainly, the whole thing is deeply unsettling. Then one evening, while walking through that very same room where the figure had appeared, something nobody could have anticipated happens. Take a look at what her camera captured.
Okay, a lot of y'all were asking about the room situation, so I'm gonna run that through real quick. We moved my daughter from this room into this room. She got new furniture. That's why the bunk bed is still in there. This is the attic that's in between the rooms that I was talking about that's cracked. It's been that way for a while, so it's not something that I'm overly concerned about, but y'all have got me freaking out in the comments. I cannot even breathe walking in this room, so I am truly terrified, but I'm gonna walk y'all in here real quick. This is the bunk bed. This is where I took her out of her crib, ran up the bunk bed. There was nothing up there when I came. We have her rocking chair, her changing station, her closet with all of the stuff that we still need to put up. This is where I have everything that was gifted. I know a lot of y'all were saying check stuff that came from a thrift store or that wasn't yours because it might be causing it. I will show you guys up here. There's nothing suspicious. There's no hair from like a rat or something that could have came in. This is marker. These are still tucked in on the sides, like they're still tight from, you know, if somebody was trying to be underneath the blankets. I don't think that's plausible. So I don't know. I have no idea what could be causing it. Oh my God.
Without any warning, a rocking chair sitting in the corner of the room starts moving entirely on its own. And crucially, there was nobody nearby who could have set it in motion. Given what had already shown up on her monitor just nights before, Misty is now convinced that something is haunting that room. She's so shaken by it all that she's refused to go back inside and plans to stay out until her husband returns from his work trip. Until that happens, the question of just who or what her camera has been picking up remains completely unanswered. Imagine you're standing in your front yard when, out of nowhere, you hear a woman shrieking for help nearby. This unsettling event was recorded by a home doorbell camera in the Leimert Park area of Los Angeles back in 2019. The footage shows a vehicle rolling past the residence while a woman's desperate pleas for help can clearly be heard coming from somewhere inside that car. Once reports of a potential abduction started circulating, the doorbell recording pushed law enforcement to open an investigation. Officers who responded to the scene initially said they couldn't find any definitive signs that a kidnapping had taken place. Yet, the footage itself tells a deeply troubling story. The woman's cries and repeated screams for help go on for over half a minute. The vehicle passes in front of the camera at roughly 11 at night, right at the moment the homeowner steps out her front door to figure out what's going on. She also recalls hearing a male voice utter the word, "sorry." She further describes what the video appears to show: a man grabbing the woman by the hair as she sits in the front passenger seat. The car then drove away from the area with its trunk hanging wide open. Once the clip spread across social media, police launched a formal kidnapping inquiry, though in the end it failed to turn up any solid leads. Screams. June 1st, 2024. Joe and Elliot, the duo behind the YouTube channel Ghost Theory, made their way out to a long-forgotten psychiatric hospital hidden somewhere deep in the British countryside. Known for pushing the limits on paranormal investigations, the two had planned to spend the night on the rooftop, capturing whatever presence might still linger there.
Pop it up and then it just flies off the edge. You're gonna go and get it.
Fuck you. Yes!
What? Oh
Finally,
no.
I can do bashing in your head in the middle of the night.
You do know that's counted as tooled up going in a building.
Yes.
If you're gonna pop it up and then it just flies off the edge, you're gonna go get, but it wasn't anything supernatural that would shake them that night. The asylum had been rotting and abandoned for more than 30 years, and it carried a heavy history. People in the area talked about shadowy shapes and voices that seemed to come from nowhere, and that was more than enough to keep the average person far away. Joe and Elliot, though, weren't the type to stay away. Armed with their equipment and plenty of nerve, they navigated through crumbling hallways and made their way up to the rooftop.
Is anybody here that can hear us?
There's a certain part of the building that we haven't seen. It's up there somewhere.
I'm wondering if is it up this way?
Could be. I tried to go through here earlier, but I couldn't fit through the door. That way, I heard like a...
Did you hear it right
on.
through that corridor by
Yeah.
any chance?
And I looked behind.
The silence was almost unnatural. Not long after getting settled, sounds started drifting up from somewhere below. Movement, footsteps, voices, and none of it had anything to do with the paranormal. These were real people. The pair switched to night vision and crept forward without a sound. That's when they spotted them. Figures dressed in full military gear, armed with rifles.
Fucking tools and everything. Why are they making noise?
Moving with clear purpose and completely alert to everything around them.
Is that a voice?
Is that a fucking angle grinder?
Joe and Elliot went dead still. Every instinct they had was screaming at them to leave immediately, but every exit seemed to be cut off. They whispered back and forth, came up with a plan, and picked their way carefully through the darkness, until a sharp, loud bang from somewhere across the building gave them the opening they needed. They bolted.
People turn up with guns. Whatever guns, whether they're airsoft, air rifles, whatever, I have no idea. And then whack out with some fucking angle grinders.
But the thing is,
He heard his name, whatever, so whatever, have you got the ladder?
Through cracked and ruined corridors, out through the broken gate, and deep into the surrounding woods. One commenter put it perfectly: "Trust your gut feeling, lads. You did well. Safety over everything." They never returned.
Look at the guy sat down. When I zoom back out, you can see two people over on the left, and it looks like they maybe point me out in the window, and the guy sat down, looks at me, and then they all sort of seem to disappear after that point.
So who exactly were those men? What were they doing inside a derelict building that nobody visits, carrying military-grade rifles and angle grinders? Ghosts might send a chill down your spine, but it's the ones still breathing that you really need to worry about. On May 13th, 2020, a man by the name of Darren Boyle posted a video to the Daily Mail's website documenting a shocking and profoundly disturbing incident. The footage appeared to capture a deceased man raising his hand from within a sealed coffin. This event unfolded during a funeral service in the city of Manado, situated in Indonesia's North Sulawesi province. The coffin featured a glass viewing panel, and at some point during the ceremony, the body inside was observed lifting its arm and moving it in the direction of the glass. For a brief moment, every single person in attendance stood completely frozen, unable to process what they were seeing. Fear spread through the crowd rapidly, with many terrified that the man had been incorrectly pronounced dead while he was still breathing. Someone recorded the moment, and the clip tore through social media at an alarming speed, igniting serious concern about the possibility of premature burial. Medical professionals later attributed the movement to post-mortem muscular activity, an unusual but scientifically documented occurrence. Despite that explanation, those who had been present in the room insisted that what they witnessed didn't feel like anything natural, with some going so far as to describe it as a paranormal experience. No formal investigation ever concluded that the man had still been alive, yet the footage continues to unsettle anyone who comes across it to this day. The footage you're about to see was recorded on November 30th, 2013. A man by the name of Jason had gone out for dinner with some of his relatives right beside the Fort Garry Hotel in Winnipeg, Canada, a building with serious history, having been constructed between 1911 and 1913 and widely regarded as one of the most haunted locations in the area. While the family was in the middle of their meal, they noticed a sudden burst of light coming from one of the hotel's windows. The light began flickering wildly at an unusual intensity, and that was the moment it grabbed Jason's attention. He walked over to the window to get a better look and was immediately unsettled by what he saw. That's when he reached for his phone and started filming. See for yourself what he captured.
I'm gonna zoom in.
Dude, it's gone now.
No, it's not. Fort Garry Hotel. Where are we? Prairie 360?
Yeah.
Did it stop flashing?
It stopped, yeah. Totally stopped now. Oh.
What is that?
And there's like... Oh.
Is that a person?
Yeah, there's like somebody like in the freaking window or something.
I'm filming it, dude. There's somebody at the window? You saw that, right?
Yeah, man.
I was filming it, man.
Yeah, that was weird.
And now it stopped flashing like that.
Okay, that was weird.
Hold on.
What would cause that?
I don't know, man.
Oddly enough, intense flashes of light are clearly visible, along with the room's glow fading in and out in a way that doesn't seem normal. What makes it even more disturbing is that when Jason zooms in, a dark silhouette appears to be moving rapidly back and forth across the room before abruptly yanking the curtains open and letting them fall back into place. Puzzled but not yet panicked, Jason returns to his meal, though within minutes, the flashing picks up again with even greater frequency and shows no sign of stopping, so he hits record once more.
Is somebody just watching like a movie and...
No, why would the whole window... That means the whole room is flashing.
Okay, so whenever you're not filming it, it happens again.
Hold on, I'll pause it. There it is. What the fuck is that?
It's like somebody's taking a picture.
No, but why would it go like dim and then not dim and then flash?
It's almost like it goes black and then it goes like straight up.
But I think I got that person on film walking in that room.
There was totally somebody there.
There was somebody by the window. Did you not see that?
For sure, yeah. Oh.
That's the creepiest fucking thing I've ever seen.
Seriously, I don't know.
I can't believe that I'm filming this right now. This is so fucked.
I don't know what's going on.
Whoa. Dude. Hold on, I gotta zoom out. Watch this. Look at that. Look at the window, and this is the Fort Garry Hotel. And that's the only window on the right side that's on right now.
Flashing all weird like that, though.
Look at it. It's doing it again. Where's Trish? That's so messed up, man.
The bizarre light show continues, with the room dimming and brightening at an accelerating pace alongside that unsettling movement behind the curtains. At a loss for an explanation, Jason decides to phone the hotel directly and ask whether a photo shoot or some kind of electrical fault could account for what he was seeing. He carefully counted the floors to identify the exact room when speaking to staff. The person at the front desk told him there were no reported electrical problems and that nobody was checked into that wing of the hotel, much less that specific room. As the footage makes clear, every window along that section of the building sits in complete darkness, with the sole exception of that one room. That answer left Jason deeply shaken, with one question he couldn't shake: just what exactly was in there? It's hard not to conclude that the Fort Garry Hotel is genuinely haunted, but as always, let me know the profile you're looking at on screen belongs to a woman based in Sydney, Australia. Her name is Hannah, and up until recently, her channel was focused on settling into a new home and documenting everyday life with her family. Then one day, she uploaded something that caught everyone off guard. She has a 3-year-old daughter who, ever since the family moved in, has been talking about an imaginary friend. That part alone isn't alarming. Plenty of children go through that phase. But something about this particular friend didn't sit right.
So earlier this year we moved into a deceased estate, and since then my 3-year-old daughter has developed an imaginary friend. And the way that she talks about this imaginary friend is not the way you would imagine a 3-year-old girl to be talking about someone that has been made up in her mind. He's not like a wizard, he's not riding a unicorn. His name is Joe, and he sounds like the most standard middle-aged man I've ever heard of. The way she talks about him is that he lives here as well, he likes working on his car, he has 2 children, which I know about the family that we bought this from, that they did have 2 children, and she said he wears a red shirt and black gardening gloves. And our house is on a massive bush block, so if you lived here you would need to be a gardener, or you would need to be doing gardening a lot of your time. And just the things that she says about him has me a little bit freaked out. That she says that he lives here, but he's also spent a lot of time in hospital. She also mainly interacts with him downstairs, which is where I am now, which is kind of like the very messy, very, very messy, but it's kind of like the original creepy section of the house. So I don't know what to do with this information. And she's 3. Like, this is the first time she's ever had an imaginary friend, and you'd think it would be like a fairy unicorn or something, but it's not. It's the most standard middle-aged man, and he sounds like a real dude. And I now think that I have to go back through births, deaths and marriages and figure out what the name of the guy was that lived here, because if his name is Joe, I'll tell you right fucking now, we're moving out. I will not be living here anymore. In saying that though, if he is willing to give me free childcare, then he can stay.
Hannah brushed it off at first, but the way her daughter talked about this figure started to unsettle her. The descriptions were far too detailed, too precise, and rather than conjuring up some whimsical creature or storybook character like most toddlers do, her daughter painted a very different picture. That's when the comment section lit up, with viewers urging Hannah to go knock on a neighbor's door. Maybe someone nearby knew the history of the house or the ground it stood on, and what she found out was deeply unsettling.
Okay, I've spoken to the neighbours and I have an update on this saga with my daughter's imaginary friend. And it's not looking good for me trying to convince myself that Joe is not real. So the neighbours told me that they've lived in their house for 18 years. The father of the family that lived here died before they moved in, so they couldn't confirm whether his name was Joe or not, but they were very intrigued about the story because they're into like spirits as well, I think. So they want me to keep them updated on all my research. But what they could tell me was the name of the woman who lived here, the mother. So she died in her 90s, and that's when we bought it after she passed away. They told me that from what they know from speaking with her about the house, that they were gardeners. They planted like a lot of the trees and everything out the backyard. I call it our little rainforest, and apparently the mother and father of this family planted all of that. So when my daughter was saying that her imaginary friend is a gardener and wears gardening gloves, could be right. They were also saying that they had 2 kids, which my daughter told me her imaginary friend Joe has 2 children. The other interesting thing they were telling me about was that apparently the house it must have been up on stilts or something, because this area, I'm downstairs now and the house is kind of like on a slope, and apparently this area used to be the driveway and the garage. So when my daughter interacts with this imaginary friend, it's usually down here, downstairs, which I now have learned used to be the garage, and she was telling me that Joe likes to work on his cars. But now I've got the name of the woman. So they didn't know the name of the dad, but they did know the name of the mum. So I've got her first name, and I also have the last name from the sale contract of the children. I'm assuming it would be the same last name. So I think I now have enough to go on births, deaths and marriages and see what I can figure out with her first and last name and see if I can link some things together. So I'm going to do that, and I will keep you updated if I can figure out if this guy's name was in fact Joe.
Every single thing her daughter had described turned out to be accurate. Details that a 3-year-old had absolutely no way of knowing. All of it lining up with the story of a real person who once lived and worked on that very property. Searching for more answers, Hannah made her way to an old workshop at the rear of the house, and here's what her camera picked up.
Okay. So, here we are. I am going to turn a light on because this is a bit creepy. Okay, there we go, that's better. Alright, so this is the workshop that the man who used to live here built himself. Not quite sure. It's like a handle of some sort. Okay, they're called locks for doors, I guess. This is his too, but it feels pretty empty, but it's kind of like whatever it is feels rusted. Oh shit. Sorry, I just got a massive gust of wind from that hole. I'm going to put the camera in there and I'm not going to look at the screen. So I don't quite know what I think that... Oh my god, I'm so freaked out right now. This is like that episode of a horror movie where like you put your hand in something and it just gets like grabbed by something else and ripped off. But yeah, I just got like a massive gust of cold wind came out of that hole and blasted me in the face. But this is, I'm pretty sure this is like ventilation for under the house, so maybe that's normal. There is also this section there, but I'm pretty sure it's just tiles. Let me have a look. Yeah, there's like tiles and building stuff everywhere here. Nothing in there. Okay, I don't know what the hell just happened, but it just turned my video off. Like I wasn't even touching it and it just shut down the video. Thing that I've found so far with any names on it, but I will keep looking. Oh, what the fuck was that? Okay, I'm hearing noises now, so I'm gonna get out. Goodbye.
On the surface, it looked like a typical forgotten workspace. Layers of dust, nothing but silence, and empty shelves. But as she moved through the room, a sudden sharp rush of cold air hit her, coming from a gap in the wall. Shortly after, her phone cut out and stopped recording for no apparent reason. And just before she walked out, an eerie sound rang through the space that startled her completely. Several viewers insisted the tools in the room had shifted on their own, and that's what caused the noise. But the story didn't stop there.
It's Joe's birthday. It's downstairs.
It's Joe's birthday downstairs.
Yeah. That's Joe's birthday. It's like flowers. Did you like the flower?
He likes
little flowers and big flowers.
Joe likes flowers.
And he loves it. He loves that with the flowers and he said.
Oh, does he make silly jokes?
Yeah.
Do you know what Joe's last name is?
Joe.
His last name is Joe?
Yeah.
Is that? Does he have a different name?
Yeah. He has a different name called E-N-R-N-P, and he plays with that weather and that picture.
Hannah sat down with her daughter and asked her about the imaginary friend she called Joe. She pressed her for a last name, and what happened next was jaw-dropping. Her daughter spelled it out almost flawlessly. That single moment sent a wave of chills through both Hannah and everyone watching. During that clip, a number of viewers spotted what looked like a shadow moving past a door in the background. Many drew their own conclusions, though Hannah later cleared it up, confirming it was simply her husband walking by. In her most recent post, she says things have been escalating.
I'm feeling a little bit creeped out, mainly because it moved, but also because of the timing of it. So last night I was sitting here on this couch, which is right next to the window. There's a tissue box there for a reason, I will tell you later. So we were sitting here and I've told my kids that they can't jump on this couch because it's next to the window. The glass is particularly thin, I think, because they're older windows, and also there's quite a big drop, if you can see. So there's a rule that they can't jump on this couch. So I was sitting here last night, my husband was sitting across from me, and my son was just standing to the side. And he had started jumping on it and then got off, and I started talking to him about the importance of not jumping on this couch because it's so dangerous. And I had a tissue box sitting up here. You can see that there's a gap between there and the window. Anyhow, so we were sitting here, nobody's moving. I was saying to him, we don't jump on the couch, and I was listing out the reasons, the glass is thin, there's a big drop, blah, blah, blah. At the end, as soon as I said, so that's why we don't jump on this couch, the tissue box moved by itself and flew from here and smacked into the window and then dropped down. And we all just went really quiet. And my husband, who's more skeptical about these things, he was like, what the fuck was that? And we just kind of looked at the tissue box, and then Eli, my son, started laughing. And I was like, what the hell was that? So it's the first time I've noticed anything move here on its own. And what worries me a bit is the timing of it. It was literally me saying, that's why we don't play near the window. And then it goes straight into the window. So I don't really know what to make of that. If it's there's a ghost here that's trying to reiterate my point, or if it's some kind of threat.
So after everything you've just watched and heard, where do you stand on this? Is this little girl perceiving something the rest of them simply can't? Has anything remotely like this ever crossed your own path? Drop your thoughts down in the comments below. Tim, Ben, and John are 3 friends who made it their mission to chase down local legends and poke around in places most people wouldn't dare set foot in. You know the type of spot. Every town has one. That one location everyone whispers about, but nobody actually has the nerve to visit. For this crew, it was a house buried deep in the woods, said to be a site where satanic rituals had taken place. Now, before we get into it, worth noting that this footage dates back to 2011, so the image quality is a far cry from what we're used to in the modern era. But honestly, that dark, grainy look somehow cranks up the dread even further.
And we're about there 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and we're gonna go see it's in the back of the woods somewhere, and we're gonna try to find it. And the legend has it that there are satanic worshipers that go back there and do all their crazy rituals and stuff. and we're gonna see if we can find it. And this is my friend Ben.
Benny B.
And this is John.
Yo, what's up?
And yeah, we're gonna see if we can find it, and we're headed there right now. So I'll see you guys in a little bit.
After a brief detour, apparently Ben couldn't face this particular adventure without stocking up on energy drinks first. The group finally made it to the location. The house sits completely cut off from civilization, reachable only by a long trail through the trees that does nothing to ease your nerves. They spend a few minutes circling the place looking for a way inside, and eventually they find one. That's the moment things take a genuinely disturbing turn. The first thing that greets them is graffiti plastered across the walls, and not the usual spray-painted nonsense. We're talking messages like, "I want to feel you on the back of my knife for the rest of my life." Yeah, not exactly something a bored teenager scrawls on a wall. Pushing deeper into the house, they come across a room where eyes have been drawn covering every surface, and it's every bit as unsettling as you'd imagine. Here's where things really escalate though. The group makes the decision to head down into the basement, because naturally, when you're standing in a ritual graffiti-covered abandoned house in the middle of the woods, going underground seems like the obvious move.
Come on, we gotta go down there. Okay. You guys wanna go? You're going first then. Okay. Just go. John, you wanna go?
Yeah, I'll go.
That smells terrible. Oh, it smells so bad. I can barely see. Oh my gosh. That smells really bad. Separate room.
What is this?
Dude, that smell is so bad. What? What? What is that? John, what is that?
Let's go. Let's check this out.
Dude, that smells really bad.
It's like, oh.
Guys, this smell is terrible. I think guys, I'm gonna throw up. Guys, we need to go. I gotta puke.
Whoa. Dude, you okay?
Hey, God.
Hey.
Yeah, guys, we gotta go, man. We gotta go.
Whoa.
Did you hear that? Oh my God! Go! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh, the police are open. Okay, you gotta go. The door's locked. Get open! There's scratches. Go. Help! What's happening? Get off! What's going on? Hang on. What's... John? What? Dude, John. Okay. Did you hear that? Dude, fuck. Oh my God. Oh, shit. Who is it? Who is it? John. Oh my God. Go! I don't know, where are we? Guys, I'm sorry.
It's fine.
John.
Let's go home.
John.
Leave me alone.
They do eventually get out, but the state they're in afterward says everything. What gives this footage its real weight is the description the guys posted alongside it. According to Tim, Ben, and John, these events actually took place a couple of years before they ever uploaded the video. And to this day, John flat out refuses to discuss what happened to him down in that basement. So, what do you think actually got to John down there? Was it someone hiding in the house, or was it something that doesn't have such a simple explanation? Drop your theories in the comments. And if you've ever thought about doing your own urban exploration, let John's experience serve as a solid reminder. Always bring people you trust and always know your way out. So this mom is desperate for answers. Her daughter has been waking up almost every single night, screaming and sobbing, calling out for her. No matter how much Aliyah looks into it, nothing she finds seems to bring any relief to these night terrors. Hoping to get some clarity, she and her husband decided to record each episode so they could show their doctor exactly what the family had been going through. Then, one particular evening, the night terrors kicked in and Chloe was completely beside herself. Aliyah hit record, and what she was about to catch on camera would shake her to her core.
I'm scared.
Scared? Are we scared, baby? Come on, you pickle. Pickle. It's okay. There's the vent right there, baby. See? The vent pushes the door. You're fine, okay? Are you a big girl? You're scared, just remember. Baby Lenny's here, Mommy's here. We're all gonna be together in the same house. It's gonna be okay. Let's go to bed. What's wrong, Cora? Sweetie, what are you afraid of? You're scaring me, honey. I don't see anything.
Eventually, the little girl settled down and Aliyah started walking her back toward her bedroom. But the moment she stood up, the bedroom door slowly swung shut all by itself. Aliyah tried to rationalize it, suggesting the air vent must have pushed it closed. She kept guiding her daughter down the hall, but as they approached the room, the girl suddenly stopped dead in her tracks, eyes locked on the window. And when Aliyah looked over, the blinds snapped shut in an instant. Both of them bolted in pure terror. Since then, Aliyah hasn't been able to make sense of any of it. The nightmares, the incidents, none of it. Most people in the comments were just as frightened, though a handful tried their hardest to find a logical explanation. But Aliyah had no problem firing back at the skeptics.
Her blinds do not have any remote or electronics. We just opened them back up so I could show you. You have to be physically standing by the blinds in order to close them like this. There is no wires or anything like that. There's no way this could be battery powered or anything. They just close on their own. And also, all four of them closed at the exact same time. There's no way that's possible because you have to touch it.
Given that these blinds aren't electronic, have no remote, and both slammed shut at the exact same moment, coming up with a reasonable explanation is no easy task. But with the doubters still pushing back, Aliyah put out one more video specifically for them.
So I'm coming into the room to show you the blinds, which I have opened back up to demonstrate how they are closed. It's not electronic, it's not battery powered, it's that's not creepy. Trying my best not to freak out. So to close these blinds, you have to touch it and close it like that. That is the only way to close these blinds. There are no batteries or remotes here at all. No wires. You have to touch it and you have to close it like this. And there's no way I could have done that since I was standing on the opposite side of the room. and there was no way I could have closed all 4 at the same time.
The blinds stayed put this time, but the door behind her suddenly started moving on its own. It swung wide open out of nowhere, and she immediately felt the hair on her arm stand straight up. Every sign here points to something haunting this home, and one commenter didn't hold back, telling Alaya flat out to stop acknowledging it, warning her that the attention is only making things worse. Angela is home alone with her infant at around 10 at night when her Ring security camera sends her an alert. She assumes it's her husband getting back from his shift, so she doesn't give it a second thought. But when nobody walks through the door, unease starts to creep in. She decides to pull up the footage, and what she finds stops her cold. Visible through the glass of the patio door is a young girl in a dress, standing motionless before disappearing completely into thin air. What makes it even more disturbing is that the figure appears to be inside the house, facing outward. Angela, already rattled, is overcome with dread the moment she remembers she's the only adult there, alone with her baby. She doesn't sleep a wink that night. The experience continues to haunt her, and even 2 days after the incident, she still can't wrap her head around it, desperately trying to find some rational explanation that might put her mind at ease.
Okay, so this is the area, the door that it was like standing inside. We don't have anything or keep anything in this area because it's a walkway and it would be really awkward. And then this is where the security camera is. So when I looked at the footage, I expected to see a person. I didn't expect to see that though.
Was this all just a strange trick of the light, or did Angela's camera record something that defies all logic? That's for you to decide. A YouTuber going by the name Mr. Snowman posted a deeply unsettling clip back in January of 2011. In it, he describes being completely alone at home in the middle of the afternoon, just kicking back and playing Fallout. That's when he started picking up on strange sounds coming from other parts of the house. Initially, he brushed it off, telling himself it was probably just the building making its usual noises, but the sounds kept coming and they weren't so easy to write off anymore. Growing more curious and more on edge, he picked up his camera and hit record. See for yourself what unfolded.
Do you want to hurt me? Yeah, there's definitely something here. They came from Noah's room. What the shit? You see that? What the Hey, why are you moving that paper? Why are you moving the newspaper? What the shit?
The second he asks the more pointed question, whether whatever is there actually wants to harm him, a sudden loud crash explodes from somewhere close by, sending him reeling. From there, things spiral fast. A newspaper lifts and moves on its own, and a bedroom door gradually swings shut with nobody anywhere near it. As he stumbles backward in a panic, yet another door closes by itself.
What's so special about in here? I think it's in his room. What the What the God damn it!
Then a box comes violently slamming down to the floor. Whether this was a carefully staged setup or something that genuinely defies explanation, the precision of each disturbance makes the whole thing incredibly hard to shake. A woman captured this eerie footage in her own backyard while spending the evening outside with her daughter. Her original intention was simply to film the new blue light she'd had put in around her pool so she could show her sister. But the moment she sent it over, her sister's reply came straight back. Watch that again.
He's out here so I could change the colors.
You might be able to do it on the back.
Oh, that looks so cool, and they're above too. Oh, that's so cool.
If you look closely, the woman's daughter is facing the pool when a strange shadowy figure drifts directly across the frame in front of her. For just a split second, it looks almost see-through. Then it suddenly takes on a solid form before disappearing out of shot. According to the woman, nobody else was in the backyard with them that night, and neither she nor her daughter noticed anything passing by at the time. It wasn't until her sister flagged it that she even realized something had been caught on camera. She later posted daytime photos of the same pool area, which showed absolutely no evidence of a trespasser or any point of entry into the yard. So the mystery is very much still open. Did she unknowingly film something that defies explanation, or is there a perfectly rational answer staring us right in the face? Drop your thoughts down in the comments below. We kick things off with a collection of clips from a UK-based TikTok creator who goes by the name Willow Hunter. Willow's channel used to be nothing but ordinary day-in-the-life content, but lately something unsettling has crept into his home, and he's been capturing what appears to be a deeply disturbing buildup of paranormal activity. It all began on January 23rd of this year. Willow says he watched a door in his apartment swing open completely on its own, so he grabbed his camera and started rolling. He speaks aloud, asking whether a spirit is present and challenging it to open the door again.
Just before, well, I tried recording a video before and it didn't catch it on camera, but this fucking door just opened on its own. If there's anything or anyone in this room with me, open that door. What the fuck? What the actual fuck? Right, look at that. There is definitely no one down there. Look. No one hiding behind the corner. What the fuck? See, it did it just before, and I was like, what the fuck's going on? And I just thought I'll get my camera out.
Right there in front of him, the door gently pushes itself open with no one touching it. Stunned, he walks over and throws it wide open, only to find an empty staircase descending toward his apartment's front entrance. Not a soul in sight. Things stayed calm for the next 2 weeks, but that quiet period wouldn't last. One afternoon, Willow was scrolling through photos on his computer featuring his cat Corey when he spotted something that stopped him cold.
I've just been looking through some pictures that I took of the house on my computer again. I was trying to clear up some space, like deleting pictures and stuff, and obviously there's them 2 pictures which I showed in the previous video. The rest of them, there's nothing to show. Like I've really looked at them and I can't see anything, but I've just seen, just have a look at this. Right, so we've got Corey up there, and I remember taking that picture because Corey was peeping her head around the corner. She didn't want to come downstairs, so that's Corey there. Who the fuck is that? Look. I only have one cat. I've only got one cat, Corey. I don't have a second cat. Like, people aren't going to believe me. People are going to think I've got a second.
In the photo, you can make out a cat peering down from the top of the staircase. Seems perfectly fine, doesn't it? Now, look carefully toward the left side of the frame. That's Corey, unmistakably, wandering around in the living room. So if Corey is down there, then what on earth is looking down at him from the stairs? Rattled by this, Willow decides to mount stationary cameras in his kitchen to monitor Corey and keep watch on that hallway door. What gets recorded is this. The door swings open and pulls shut entirely on its own. There are no windows open, no breeze to blame, and nothing visibly connected to it. This isn't a gentle draft nudging it slightly. It opens and closes with a slow, purposeful motion that's genuinely unsettling. Then Willow takes it a step further and films the same door after dark. The door has frosted glass panels, which means you can faintly make out shapes on the other side if someone is standing there.
Right. Just want to show it happening again. So, if there's anything in this room, can you... I didn't even have to finish. I don't really need to prove that there's nothing down there. You'd hear the dog, but anyway. Right, let's try again. Right, if there's anything in this room with me, or, well, yeah, if there's anything or anyone in this room right now, open the door again.
First, it opens by itself. Through that blurred glass, you can plainly tell there is nobody standing behind it. He heads out to check the staircase once more, but finds it completely deserted. He shuts the door and verbally invites the spirit to show itself again. And just like that, the door slowly creaks back open as if answering him. Then, by February 16th, the encounters begin to turn more aggressive and physical. The hallway door bursts open on its own once again. Within seconds, a skateboard that had been leaning against the wall slides down and hits the floor with no one near it. It gives the impression of an unseen presence walking through the doorway and clipping the board on its way inside. But here's the detail that will really get under your skin. Pay attention to Corey the cat just before the skateboard drops. He's already locked onto the door, staring at it with total focus. It's as though the cat could sense something standing right there that the camera couldn't see. So is Willow genuinely sharing his home with a poltergeist and a phantom feline? Or has he simply put together an impressively crafted series of staged videos? On November 27th, 2023, well-known urban exploration YouTuber Mo Sargi set out alone to investigate an abandoned school, hoping to recover a wallet he thought he'd left behind on a prior visit. The place already carried a disturbing history from his previous trip, including an unknown individual who had written his name in blood across one of the walls, giving the whole experience an unsettling and deeply threatening edge.
What my game plan is right now is to search every corner, every crevice of this whole place. Hello, is there anybody here? I'm not trying to hurt nobody. I just want to look for my wallet. I did go through here the last time I was here, so maybe my wallet is here somewhere. Yo, everything kind of like got destroyed since I was here last. Oh, look, a glove. Look at this. There's like an actual glove that belonged to somebody. Hello? Anyone in here? Pretty sure that glove wasn't here last time, but look at this, guys. Somebody left a coffee cup over there. There's like a whole bunch of broken glass here. I don't see my wallet anywhere though. I am like freaking out right now. Internally, I am freaking out. Like I really am. I did come through here. I don't know if I lost my wallet in here while I was running, or I lost it while I was walking during all the stuff that was happening. It's got to be here somewhere, because this is, when I was here last, it was the last time I saw my wallet.
What makes this even more chilling is that Mo had no idea there was a man asleep just behind him in that very room, a realization that could have ended very badly. Yet it wouldn't be long before he picked up on the fact that someone else was present in that building.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. There's someone here. Oh. There's someone here. stay quiet. I'm gonna stay in the dark room. Oh, no, there's someone there. What the fuck? I'm gonna stay in this dark room over here. Guys, there is a man in here. Oh shit, he's coming. Fuck. There's a man stealing stuff. What's he doing? I need to get the hell out of here. Shit, he's coming back. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck. It's a homeless guy. I'm so scared.
He kept a close eye on the figure, who could have been a squatter, a homeless individual, or something far harder to explain, carefully staying out of sight as the man moved through the hallway. But the moment Mo tried to get out, this is what unfolded.
Oh no, there's no way out. What's he doing? Stop! Oh shit. Up there. I'm gonna turn off my lights. He's coming. I just fell down the stairs. I'm up where I think I left my wallet. Okay, I don't see here anywhere. Hi, Mo Sargi, we're coming for you. He doesn't know I'm here. Oh God. Okay, he doesn't know I'm here. I'm gonna wait here for like 5 minutes. If he doesn't come back, I'm climbing down and getting the hell out of here. My wallet is not here. He must have it. I knew it was a bad idea coming here alone, but I had no choice. I had nobody here. I needed my wallet. Lights. Shit. Oh man, this is freaking terrifying. This is so terrifying. The roof is locked. I can't get out from here. He's blocking the air. He came looking for me. Oh man. Oh no. Go away! I got my machete. I got my machete, you piece of shit. He's on drugs. Get out of here. She's coming. Oh! What the f*** happened? Oh my God.
To this day, the identity of the man who pursued and shadowed Mo throughout that building remains completely unknown. His true motives may never come to light, but it's hard to imagine they were anything other than deeply sinister. Our next unsettling clip was posted by a young woman who goes by Sarah. She had been staying at a hotel located in the Lake District, a picturesque region in northern England. At the time, she was in her bathroom recording herself going through her usual routine, doing her makeup, the kind of everyday content she'd normally share on social media. But then she picks up on something that stops her dead in her tracks.
Hello? Hello?
Sarah got on the phone with the front desk, wanting to know whether any staff members had been near her room. The hotel confirmed that nobody had been dispatched to her floor. From that point on, she was certain the room had some kind of paranormal presence trying to reach out to her. The strange activity kept up for the entire duration of her stay, ultimately driving her to leave before her checkout date. She ended up posting a follow-up video sometime later, and honestly, it only makes the whole experience feel that much more chilling.
He says, I'm gonna walk you to your room. He opens the door straight away for no reason whatsoever. He just says, I feel like we should change rooms. There's just something off about it. It didn't have a nice vibe. We go our separate ways, and I decide that I'm gonna film myself doing like my skincare routine and stuff. And I had one of those like sticky phone cases, like, you know, the ones that you put on the back, and I had my phone against the mirror, and I heard this massive thud. Like the thud was so loud that it knocked my phone off of the mirror. And I hear another loud bang, and it actually physically makes me jump, and I think that is included in the video if you go back and watch it. Like I physically jump, and I'm like, what the hell is that? Because it sounded like somebody like had opened the door in my room. That's how loud it was. So I leave the bathroom and I go and look around the room and I can't see anything. And then I just decide randomly to open the cupboard, and I'd already hung up all my outfits for the next day. Every single outfit, like I had a blazer and had a dress, pair of jeans, whatever, they were all on the floor. This is the weird thing, the rail that holds the clothes, that was still up. So it wasn't like I'd hung something that was too heavy and the rail itself had fallen down. That was still perfectly in place. But these 3 hangers, they were all now on the floor. It sounds like somebody is trying to get into my room. So at this point I'm thinking, okay, I don't think a member of staff would be doing that. So I call down again and they confirmed that no, they actually haven't even sent somebody up to check just yet. I start to pack up all of my stuff, and whilst I'm doing that, I go into the main bedroom area, and whilst I'm on the phone to her,
He was all by himself when something absolutely terrifying unfolded. This footage comes from a man who goes by Brian. According to him, he purchased an older home and planned to gut and renovate it before actually moving in. But as the work progressed, he began experiencing a deeply unsettling feeling throughout the property. Strange, unexplained sounds would occasionally echo through the rooms with no clear origin. Then, one afternoon, while completely alone in the house, everything changed. Out of nowhere, he heard the sound of a small child giggling, despite being the only person there. Moments after that, an object was hurled across the floor. He tried to brush it off at first, but things only escalated. While working solo one day, his phone started lighting up with motion alerts from his security system, warning him that something was moving around inside.
I'm here doing construction work at my house by myself, and my phone starts going off. I start getting these notifications that a person's been detected in my house. 6 minutes ago, it says someone was here. Look, there's nobody here. Yeah, I noticed yesterday there was people detected too, and so I checked the cameras on yesterday's video. Okay, hold on. Okay, alright. Here, check this out. Look, no one. And then watch this. Look. And then it just disappears. And then I check the second camera in the room, and check this out. Look. The shadow right there. But there's no person. I don't know what to say.
When he pulled up the footage to investigate, he spotted the silhouette of what looked like a person. He searched the entire space, but found nobody, and nothing that could have cast that kind of shadow. Then, just like that, the figure disappeared without a trace.
And then it just disappears. And then I check the second camera in the room, and check this out. Look. The shadow right there. But there's no person.
Brian once felt nothing but excitement about his new place, but that excitement has given way to genuine fear. His conclusion is that the house is haunted. So it raises the question, after seeing this for yourself, what do you think is really going on? A group of friends ventured deep into the forest to make camp. Close to a small stream, they discovered an old trail and started constructing a makeshift bridge. But the situation got weird fast when a massive thunderous boom rang out. They shook it off, wrapped up the bridge, and headed out to explore. But it wasn't long before other unsettling noises started closing in.
Tony, that was bad time.
Tony, you almost fell off.
There's nothing. Nothing at all. What is that?
It might be just a creaking, bro. It's old.
That's not a creak, though.
Sounds like something's getting thrown.
It sounds like something walking on it, you know? Tony.
That's Tony.
Was that you? Tony. Don't lie. Tony. Tony, don't fucking lie. Something threw a rock. Bro, promise.
That was him.
Promise.
It came from that way, dog. There was wood crackling over there.
Keegan, or Tony, get up.
No, it's the fire. It's the fire crackling. We just heard it again.
Dude, it bounced off the metal. I don't know what the fuck that was.
Something struck metal nearby, yet when they swept their lights across the darkness, there was nothing to be found. Shapes drifted at the edges of the firelight, and an overwhelming sense that something was out there watching them began to take hold.
What was that?
Huh.
I just heard something from the house. Like a
I hear talking in the distance. 100% just heard talking in the distance. You hear that? A fake whistling. You're tripping, that might be a car. You didn't hear that? What did it sound like? It's like a... Yeah. You did hear that? Yeah.
They eventually made the call to pack up and go, but just as they started moving, a piercing shriek tore through the tree line. That sent them straight back to the fire. Rattled to their core, they hunkered down for the night, just hoping the hours would tick by faster. They never got a clear look at whatever was out there, but that relentless creeping feeling of being observed left every single one of them shaken. The following clip features a man who lived through one of the most harrowing experiences of his life inside the home of his recently deceased grandfather. His grandfather had died just a little over a month before, and the man returned to the property alongside his wife to deal with a handful of remaining possessions. The idea was straightforward: wrap up some loose ends and stay the night. But once darkness settled in and the two of them got into bed, everything shifted in a way neither of them would ever be able to shake.
So, we were just going to bed and we're not... Let me just show you. Like, we've literally had to put the bag up against the door because we're not sure.
Sleep wasn't coming easily because the bedroom door had started producing a strange, persistent sound. A dry, rhythmic knocking that set the nerves on edge. Was it just the wind finding its way through? Perhaps, but pay close attention to what unfolds from here. When he finally musters enough nerve to pull the door open, the hallway beyond is completely empty. Nothing but blackness staring back at him. No movement, no breeze, no explanation whatsoever. He shuts the door, and almost immediately it begins moving again, all on its own.
We weren't going to stay here anymore because it got worse. It was time to go.
And like, we're literally just...
I packed up our things and took my wife to the car and came back to grab our stuff and left the...
After that, chalking it up to chance simply wasn't an option anymore. The entire house seemed to shift in energy. The air felt thick, suffocating, deeply wrong. The two of them agreed the only sensible move was to get out. As he frantically grabbed their bags and made for the exit, something far more disturbing unfolded.
Okay, so we're leaving. We got all of our stuff packed.
The couple fled that house the same night, and based on what they experienced, any thought of returning seems like a distant possibility at best. The feeling that gripped them both was unmistakable, that something was present in that house, something with no intention of moving on. The question that lingers is whether it was his grandfather's spirit reaching out from beyond, or whether that entity had been lurking there long before any of this ever started. No one has a definitive answer. All that exists is the footage, and the unease it leaves behind. Welcome to the Woods. UK is a channel run by a creator who regularly posts footage from his late-night excursions into unsettling outdoor environments. Back in March 2024, he uploaded a video documenting a solo camping trip to an unnamed forest in the middle of nowhere, capturing everything he encountered as he surveyed the surrounding woodland under cover of darkness. For the opening few minutes, all you can make out is his breathing while he sets up a decoy tent, and you can't help but feel a certain awe at the sheer nerve it takes to venture alone into a pitch-black forest, not knowing whether you might stumble across hostile strangers or something far worse. As the video continues, he offers occasional remarks about what he's observing, and at no point does the footage suggest anyone else is out there with him. Then, roughly 7 minutes in, a deeply unsettling sound pulls the whole thing in a much darker direction.
If that was a stick that's fallen out of that tree or something was thrown. I'll have to replay the footage, but I'm not sure whether a branch fell out of the tree or something was thrown at that.
A thunderous crack rings out, as though a thick branch had been snapped off or hurled through the air. It's conceivable that the noise came from a coyote or a fox, but given how sudden and sharp it was, it could just as easily have been a trespasser deliberately trying to rattle him. Since he'd set up a fake tent with a glowing light inside, he may have unknowingly drawn the curiosity of someone looking to mess with him. Even so, it's difficult to wrap your head around why anyone else would be roaming that same isolated stretch of woodland.
I want to keep this light as low as I can, but it sounds like a woman shouting or screaming. Jesus. Jesus. The hell is that? What the hell is that?
What makes it truly disturbing is that whatever person, creature, or unknown thing produced that sound then let out a blood-curdling shriek that was almost indistinguishable from a screaming woman, and it happened almost immediately after the branch snapped, as though something had been waiting for that exact moment. Fortunately, he made it out of the forest without harm the following morning, and he's been posting outdoor content ever since. Adam Brown, widely recognized through his YouTube channel Adam Brown Adventures, has built a reputation as a committed diver and search specialist. His channel covers a wide range of outdoor pursuits, from hunting for treasure to exploring abandoned locations, but the work that truly defines him is his use of diving expertise to help grieving families locate missing loved ones, all at no cost. In this particular case, Adam brings viewers along to Sumter, South Carolina, where he takes on an emotionally charged mission connected to the 7-year disappearance of a man named Tommy Braley. Tommy went missing in 2017 after clocking out from work one evening. He was last placed at a now-shuttered bar and grill in Sumter, and despite living only a short distance away, neither he nor his silver BMW was ever seen again. With no witnesses, no solid leads, and no trace of the vehicle, his family had spent years living in agonizing uncertainty. On December 30th, 2024, Adam and fellow searcher Jason came back to the area with a fresh wave of determination. Their attention was fixed on a specific stretch of water that Jason had surveyed some years before.
Today we are continuing the search for missing person Tommy Lee Braley. He went missing back in 2017 with his vehicle, a silver BMW.
It's been 1 year since 52-year-old Tommy Braley was last seen by his family and friends in Sumter. Braley left Brewer's Bar on East Westmark in the early hours last August and hasn't been heard from since.
I've been doing searching for the past years for Tommy, because he just basically vanished after leaving a brewer's bar and grill in downtown Sumter, which has since closed by now. They had a lot of issues there, apparently fighting, and I've heard a lot of rumors about this bar. But he was out with his coworkers, you know, having a good time. He left at like 2 a.m., vanished. He only had like a 15-minute drive back to his house, but neither him or his car has been seen since. So me and Jason, we've been checking so many places over the past few years for Tommy. Just all the signs to us point, you know, when a car goes missing, you're in the woods or the water somewhere. There's a lot of woods, but by this time, usually hunters or somebody would have seen him if it was obvious. There's not a ton of water. There's a lot of little spots, and we're just, you know, continuing to search. And you've been out here the past few days looking, right?
Yeah, I was here Saturday. It looks like it could be a car. I mean, it's a car-shaped object out towards this way. I don't know if it came around that curve here.
Yeah.
And like shot off right there, but I've seen no signs of car parts. But we're talking, what, 7 years ago?
Something had shown up.
During that earlier scan, sonar had picked up something intriguing, an object roughly the size and shape of a car, but the discovery had never been followed up on. As they geared up, the two laid out their reasoning. If the vehicle had never surfaced and no evidence had turned up in the surrounding woods, then a nearby body of water was the most compelling remaining possibility.
That one looks silver. That looks pretty new though. GM. We're gonna see if we can't stick to something. Bet you would pull up some car parts though. Oh, hey, I'm on something over here. And honestly, it kind of felt like a car to me. You need to scan this, dude. That is something big.
Jason knew the exact spot. Somewhere beneath that calm waterway, his scanner had once outlined what looked unmistakably like a submerged vehicle. They hadn't been able to verify it at the time, but now they were back with the tools and resolve to get a definitive answer. Balancing cautious optimism, they deployed an underwater drone to see what was really down there.
I don't see a logo.
What's the wheel?
Is it right?
No, you gotta get it closer.
It's just buried. Need a logo. Or the tag.
Front's gonna be too buried. Didn't have any actual pictures of his vehicle, right? I don't think so.
That looks like a...
Let me see.
Isn't that what the BMW front kind of shape is? Oh.
Oh, that looks like a BMW grill front end.
This has got to be him. This has got to be him.
Can you go around more to the front?
Yeah, I'm trying to. Of course it's missing the thing we're doing.
It should have another one identical to it on the other side. Turn now. You're too far, too close. That's a BMW. That's 100% a BMW.
I think we found her, man.
You're not gonna be able to tell anything.
I'm gonna try to.
There's usually a logo right there at the top where the two grill pieces come together.
That's it. That's this BMW.
We found Tommy. I bet.
It's gotta be Tommy.
That's gotta be Tommy.
Let's keep going around the car. I knew when that magnet stuck, which is a weird thing to say because we didn't run sonar or anything, but you kind of get to know the stick of a car, you know, the feel. And bear with me because I'm. Oh, and that line's right. Oh, that line's going right over it. We found him.
Can you get to the back?
I'm gonna try to pull out. We have confirmation that he's in the vehicle, where there is human remains in the vehicle. Obviously, we won't know that until the coroners check it out. But
as the drone sank deeper, the murky shapes below began to sharpen into focus. There was no mistaking it. It was a vehicle. Even more striking, its size, profile, and color all pointed toward Tommy's missing BMW. Then came the breakthrough they had been working toward for years. The drone's camera revealed a BMW front grille, unmistakable and undeniable. Everything matched. 4 doors, a silver exterior, the right dimensions, the right location. The case was building itself. When Adam later brought up the license plate, any remaining doubt evaporated. They had found Tommy's car. Law enforcement was notified, and human remains were recovered from inside the vehicle. The following morning, the car was pulled from the water. Shortly afterward, official identification confirmed what Adam and Jason had already suspected. The remains were those of Tommy Braley. After 7 years of unanswered questions and unbearable grief, Adam and Jason were able to deliver the one thing Tommy's family had desperately needed: closure. Yet, Adam didn't walk away from the work after that. He continues traveling the country, diving into waterways in search of those who vanished without a trace. Because for him, this goes beyond the thrill of exploration. It's about giving people the peace they deserve. Tommy's case still carries lingering questions. What caused him to leave the road, how the car went undetected for so many years, and whether anything more sinister was ever at play. The vehicle's location and condition, however, point toward a devastating accident. It stands as a sobering reminder of how completely a car can disappear beneath the surface in an isolated area, and just how vital the work of recovery divers like Adam truly is. Had they never gone back to check that stretch of water, would Tommy's car and the truth have stayed buried forever? This footage was captured in Mexico at an unfinished home belonging to a close friend of the man filming. For weeks leading up to this, neighbors had been reporting unsettling activity around the property. Strange sounds echoing through the night and an eerie sense of being observed whenever anyone walked past after dark. Wanting to put those rumors to bed, the owner decided to visit the site one morning, bringing his friend Dove along. Dove held back near the entrance while his girlfriend Gabriella headed inside to walk through the space and check on how the build was coming along. That's the moment Dove spotted something that made him freeze completely. See for yourself.
Desde que llegué a la casa le dije a Gabriela que había alguien ahí. Chucho se fue a asomar, no. Y se ve bien puto raro, mira. Tiene la pinche jeta. Tiene los ojos brillosos. ¿Qué pasó? ¿Sí estás grabando? ¿Estás grabando? ¿Y no grabaste nada? Ahorita te enseño el video para que veas. Sobres. Cuidado. A ver, ahorita vemos el video de Gaby. Voy a grabar.
Whatever Dove was looking at didn't carry the appearance of someone who had simply wandered onto the property by mistake. The figure was motionless in a way that felt deeply unnatural, its form somehow off, distorted, but the detail that shook viewers to their core was its eyes, faintly glowing from deep within the half-built structure. Given that the interior had no light source whatsoever and nobody else was supposed to be there, nothing in that space should have been catching or reflecting light that way. There are those who believe incomplete buildings function like open wounds in a space, undefined, boundless, the kind of place something unseen might take up residence without anyone knowing. Others argue the ground itself may have carried something long before a single brick was ever laid. So where do you stand? Was this nothing more than a trick of shadow inside an unlit building site? Or had Dove stumbled upon something that had already made that place its own long before construction ever began? This chilling footage dates back to 2012. Late one night, a group of friends decided to attempt a terrifying Brazilian ritual known as Jogo do Copo. Think of it as similar to a Ouija board, a method used to make contact with spirits and otherworldly entities. The difference is that many people consider it significantly more dangerous than a Ouija board. When they began the game, things appeared perfectly ordinary to start, but then something absolutely horrifying unfolded.
Niet zo schief. Ik zie me niet. Wie zegt een PTM oder was? Nee. Hä? Ey, wer ist das? Was ist denn jetzt los? Anja, ich schieb nicht. Ich schwöre schon, ich hab Angst. Du hast dich schon. Nur weil sie jetzt noch weiter gedreht hat.
Without warning, one of the women sensed something was deeply wrong and yanked her hand away from the glass. Within seconds, the others followed, each of them overcome by an intense and unsettling feeling they couldn't explain. Then, seemingly on its own, the glass launched across the surface and shattered. There's actually no shortage of older footage circulating online of people who attempted this game and walked away with deeply disturbing, unexplained experiences.
Alguém está presente?
According to those familiar with it, if the game is abandoned before it's properly concluded, especially if the glass ends up broken, there's a very real possibility that your home becomes permanently haunted, leaving you trapped in a state of ongoing dread. So, what's your take on this? The following clip is about Rosanna, whose situation has become one of the longest running and most unsettling cases we've ever covered. She's tried everything, spoken to multiple paranormal experts, cleansed the house more times than she can count, switched rooms, switched routines, but instead of getting better, things have only escalated. Early one morning, Rosanna suddenly woke up after hearing the sound of a toy she was absolutely sure no longer worked. Confused, she grabbed her phone and went to check. Watch.
J'en ai marre, j'en ai marre, j'en ai marre. Ah, ok. Alors le choupi, il est tout en haut de l'étagère là-bas. Et il ne marche plus. Voilà. Classique. Regarde, il est à 0. Je suis là. Coucou, je suis là. Il marchait plus. Coucou, je suis là. Coucou, je suis là. Coucou, je suis là. Super, j'ai pas. Coucou, je suis là. Tais-toi. Tais-toi. J'ai entendu. Je suis pas folle. J'ai entendu.
At the time she was filming, she didn't see the shadow moving right in front of her. She only noticed it later when viewers pointed it out. And what made this moment even stranger is that the toy's batteries had been dead for months. So the fact that it suddenly switched on by itself, paired with that dark shifting shadow and then a faint voice saying hello from inside the bathroom, made everything feel a lot more intentional, almost like something inside that house was trying to get her attention. Viewers also pointed out something else. The bathroom door was open, and in a surprising number of paranormal cases, bathrooms are believed to be hotspots for activity. Some investigators say it's because bathrooms have mirrors, objects often tied to spiritual gateways. Others say it's the constant flow of water, since running water is believed in some traditions to attract or amplify energy. And a few believe it's simply because bathrooms are small, enclosed spaces where shadows and movements are easier to hide, and easier to miss. For Rosanna, it all adds up to one terrifying thought. Whatever is in her home is getting bolder. She's still searching for real help, especially because she wants to reunite with her kids, but she's terrified of exposing them to whatever this is. And until someone can confidently tell her exactly what she's dealing with, Rosanna remains stuck in a terrifying uncertainty, and this case remains completely unresolved. Now, in the following clip, a woman living deep in the Appalachian mountains was recording a song when she suddenly felt like someone was watching her. She started hearing footsteps, soft, slow, almost pacing, and faint whispers she couldn't make out. Watch and listen closely.
Just had a whole chill go down my spine like I'm being watched. I feel really disoriented right now. I don't know which way I came in. I feel like someone's stalking me. Like I keep hearing people talking. but no one's here. Let's see. Just me. I feel like you guys aren't my only audience.
A lot of viewers replayed that moment over and over, and some swear they heard a voice whisper, "Who are you?" right before the clip ended. It sounded low, masculine, almost like someone was standing just out of frame. And the moment her entire body went cold, she knew she had to leave immediately. But this wasn't a one-off moment. It happened again. This time, she was in her backyard practicing another song when something else happened. Watch this.
I'm in my backyard, so I can't. Imagine anything would go wrong. Worst comes to worst, I'll run inside. So if someone or something is here, then it followed me home. It's really quiet. It's almost dark.
Right before she starts playing, you can see something peeking out from behind a tree. Just a quick flash of what looks like a face. And according to her, it didn't sound like an animal. It sounded like someone shifting their weight, someone trying not to be noticed. And here's where the debate starts. Some viewers believe she's dealing with a stalker or a person hiding in the woods. Because living in the Appalachian Mountains, you often hear stories of people who've gone off grid, loners who wander the forests, or strangers who watch without ever revealing themselves. Others think this is something far stranger, maybe one of those unexplained Appalachian legends people warn you about. But then you have believers who say the whispers, the peeking figure, and the perfectly timed rustling all feel too synchronized to be a random person. They think she's dealing with something not entirely human, something that's been watching her for a long time. So is this a person hiding in the woods, or something else entirely? I'll leave that for you to decide. In this next video, an unusual and honestly unsettling moment was caught on a security camera inside a morgue. Take a look. Right after this video went viral, plenty of health practitioners chimed in, saying moments like this are more common than people think. According to them, a corpse can sit up, make guttural noises, or even move slightly due to muscle contractions, nerve reflexes, or gas release. In the medical world, this isn't considered paranormal, it's just the last bits of the body reacting. But in the paranormal world, this is a completely different story. When a corpse sits up suddenly at the exact moment it's being attended to, many believe it's a sign of a spirit trying to re-enter the body, or a final attempt to communicate something that wasn't said before death. Some say it means the soul hasn't fully crossed over, lingering in a confused or restless state. Others believe morgues, because of what they hold, naturally attract spirits who hover between worlds, making them hotspots for unexplained activity. There are even theories that certain sudden movements may happen when a presence is near, influencing the body or the environment around it. And if you talk to longtime morgue workers, many will admit there are nights where the room feels crowded, even when every bed is still. So with all the debates, theories, and strange stories surrounding morgues, if you experience something like this, right in front of you, what would you do? Now, in the following clip, a ghost hunter and his crew visited a house that once belonged to an elderly couple who had passed away, leaving the home abandoned for years. They were only just setting up in the living room when the investigators suddenly heard a sound coming from one of the back rooms. His first thought was simple, probably a rat, or maybe something blown over by a draft. But when he entered the room, this is what he saw.
Dar nu se vede nimic. Deci se aude, dar nu se vede. Mamă, frate, fii atent! Holy shit! Vai, nu mai știu să vorbesc. Nu mai pot, bă. Ce-o zis? Îmi pun ăla în cap.
If it had been only the window, maybe, just maybe, he could have talked himself into a logical explanation. But the moment that old porcelain doll spoke, he knew immediately this wasn't about rodents or loose windows. Something else was in that house, and it seemed to be slowly revealing itself piece by piece, like it wanted them to notice. From there, the activity grew stronger. Cold pockets of air kept passing between the crew members, and a picture frame on the wall kept tilting itself back and forth, almost like someone was trying to get their attention. Every sign pointed toward one truth. Something or someone was in that house with them. After doing a full sweep of the building and confirming no one else was inside, they decided to try communicating with whatever spirit was present. Take a look.
Dă tabloul la jos, poți? Ia să vedem că... Oricare spirit ai afla în balcon, oricare entitate, îți ordon să dai tabloul la jos cu doamna Timea. Băga mea și pula în dracu, gata, eu nu ți-am plecat acasă. Am băgat pula mea.
When he asked the spirit to pull down the picture frame, and it actually happened, viewers immediately began theorizing.
Haide, pula mea. Vai, hai să plecăm, Ionuț.
Some believe the spirit was trying to show anger or frustration. Others think it was simply responding to acknowledgement, grateful that someone finally noticed its presence. A few even suggested the frame might hold a photo or memory tied to the couple who once lived there, and pulling it down was its way of pointing to unfinished business. The crew then tried something else, hoping to gather information about the spirit's story.
Since when are you dead?
Prizonier.
Doamne, prizonier a fost în război. Give me a number.
Leonard.
Da. Bă, să te atragi, eu vorbesc în engleză și răspund în română, mă.
Sometimes spirits who struggle to move on aren't staying because they want to. Some linger out of confusion, unable to accept that they've passed. Others stay because of emotional attachment, a memory, a person, an object they're tied to. And in some rare cases, they remain because they're waiting, hoping for someone to help them finish something they never could in life. The investigators kept communicating, testing the spirit's responses, checking how active and aware it truly was.
Ana Maria, închide ușa aia, oleacă, dacă poți. Ana Maria. Ia, marș de aici, Ionuț. Ce ai, mă? Băi, s-o închis ușa, tu ești nebun la cap?
Fortunately, their experience that night was calm. The spirit didn't try to lash out or attack. Instead, its interaction seemed intelligent, almost purposeful, like it had a message but couldn't express it fully. But why it still lingers in that house, why it hasn't crossed over, is something the team hasn't been able to uncover yet. So until they figure it out and share more updates, this one remains unsolved. This clip is about a delivery guy who, in his own words, lives life one day at a time. But recently, his days have been anything but ordinary. For months, he's been trying to explain the strange things he's seen and heard while on the job. But every time he shares his stories, his friends either laugh or brush it off as him being dramatic. Everything changed on the 14th of September, 2022, when he was assigned to deliver at a newly developed site with fresh, unfinished buildings. The place looked quiet, almost too quiet, but as soon as he entered one of the buildings, he began hearing strange sounds echoing from deep inside, footsteps when nobody was there, faint voices that seemed to vanish the moment he tried to follow them. At first, he ran out, unsettled, but he couldn't shake the feeling that what he heard was real. So the very next day, he went back, this time not for work, but for proof. Have a look.
I'm at this house in somewhere North Carolina. Brand new house. Just has been built. And I was making a delivery here yesterday. And I kept hearing something upstairs. And I'm the only one here. I was here by myself. But something kept bumping around up here. Sounded like somebody walking across the floor. So today we're going to come check it out. See what it could be. It's kind of odd. As you see, nobody's here. I'm here by myself. Nobody's around. Every single room is empty. Close it. I don't see anything that would have been moved or could move that's up here loose or anything. See, nobody's here. Nobody's hiding anywhere. Nope, nobody. Nobody. See? Now who the hell is crazy now? Did you hear that thump? See, I'm here by myself. Nobody's here. Just me. What the hell? See, nobody's here. What the hell was that? It's a brand new damn house. Nobody's here. We'll go up there in a minute. Still gotta make sure so everybody doesn't think that I'm crazy. I have somebody here with me. Nobody's here. Just me. Nobody's here. He's back out to the hall. Nobody's here. Let's see what could be going on. See, nobody's here. There's nothing possible that could be bumping around by itself or thumping. Nobody, nothing. No animals, no nothing. So strange how a brand new house is already haunted. Let's see. I just needed proof. But yet again, nobody's here.
proof.
What he recorded stunned even him, and now he's sure that the noises weren't just in his head, they were real, and now undeniable. But he's still worried his friends will dismiss it as edited audio or coincidence, so his plan is simple: bring them along next time. Because sometimes, he says, people only believe what they can see and feel themselves. The following video is an update from Rosanna, the woman who refuses to give up on her house. Sadly, many of the priests she's reached out to recently have stopped responding, saying there's nothing more they can do. So after getting rejected by several others, she decided to take a break and travel to her mother's place. But while there were no unusual knockings, voices, or moving objects like before, one thing still didn't stop. She kept waking up in different rooms with no memory of how she got there. After a few weeks, she decided to go back home and try the whole find a solution thing all over again. But this is what welcomed her. Watch.
Right.
As soon as she arrived, the dishes exploded right before her eyes, before she could even bring out her phone to record. Then, the craziest thing happened. The mannequin head slowly turned on its own, facing directly toward her. Moments later, she said she felt something breathing down her neck, and when she whispered "stop," a voice answered, "No." Some people believe something in that house wants her gone, like whatever's there knows she's been trying to banish it, and it's fighting back. A few days after this happened, she revealed what made her leave the house for a long period in the first place. One night while she was asleep, she decided to put on her camera, hoping to finally catch herself leaving her room and walking into another. Because somehow every morning she wakes up in a different place with no memory of how she got there. But instead of capturing that, something else happened that night. Watch this. Waking up to find out a terrifying face had been watching you while you slept. That's not something anyone would ever want to discover. But what makes it worse are the strange gestures she was making in her sleep. Gestures she doesn't remember at all. No memory, no control, just movement. Almost like something else was borrowing her body for a while. Seeing this, people started coming up with new theories. Some say what's inside that house is trying to possess her but can't because of her faith, so it manifests through her sleep instead. Others believe the spirit is trapped within her and only reveals itself when she's most vulnerable, like when she's asleep and unaware. A few even claim she's become a vessel for whatever resides in that house, that maybe it's not the house that's haunted anymore, maybe it's her, but it doesn't end there. It's not just the figures watching her while she sleeps. Sometimes she hears a voice imitating her cat, trying to lure her into a corner or another room, and when she follows it, this happens.
Loli. Laisse-moi. Loli. Oui, Loli.
The figure stood silently in front of the door for what felt like forever, while Rosanna hid under a table, trying to call her friends for help. But by the time anyone arrived, the house was completely still and silent, almost like nothing had happened at all. At this point, Rosanna says she's done trying. She's checked into a hotel indefinitely until she can find a new place to live. And honestly, can you blame her? After all the sleepless nights, the fear, the money she spent trying to get help, anyone would break. But while at the hotel, she found a forgotten clip from a few weeks back, one she'd filmed while testing a projector for her kids. She was alone, preparing to send them a video message when she heard a noise coming from the fireplace. Watch this.
Celui qui devant sous l'abri du trio repose en nom du puissant. Je tire
Rosanna later explained that every time she prays or plays a religious song, whatever's inside that house reacts violently, almost like it hates it. And in this clip, you can hear it clearly, a voice saying, "Shut up." Also, the music wasn't even playing until she picked up the cross, and the moment she did, it was like something in the room snapped. Things began to move violently, and then her body stiffened. Her head began spinning uncontrollably, and her skin burned like fire. It felt as if the house itself was fighting back. Some say it's because the entity inside her home is demonic, feeding on her resistance. She also shared one particular night when she decided to communicate with whatever, or whoever, was in her house. At the time, she said the entire place was filled with a strong, foul smell she couldn't trace. No leaks, no spoiled food, nothing that explained it. It just appeared heavy, suffocating, and constant. So she took out some protective stones, ones a friend had told her might help, though she admitted she had no idea if she was even using them right. Watch what happened.
Je suis frigorifiée. Et il y a cette odeur-là, de pourriture. Je sais qu'il est là. Tant pis. Qui es-tu? Qui es-tu? Allez. Allez, dis. Qui es-tu?
According to Rosanna, this wasn't the first time it had hurt her. She's been slapped, scratched, and even bitten before, and she's got the scars to prove it. But what happened that night took things to a different level. Even though she doesn't have a baby at home, the whole experience that day was something new and deeply disturbing. And to make things worse, when she tried turning on her hallway light, the switch wouldn't work. It had been working perfectly that morning. Somehow, it just stopped, right when she needed it most. She decided to post the clip, mostly because some viewers had been accusing her of quitting. But for someone who's been bitten, slapped, and mocked by something unseen, how do you not quit? When you start living through something like this, do you keep pushing for answers, or is that the moment you accept it's already beyond your control? Well, that wasn't all that happened that night. Watch this.
Arrête. Arrête. Mon Dieu. C'est quoi?
The laughter, that awful mocking laugh that echoed through her hallway. It's the kind of sound that makes your blood run cold, and it didn't stop there. Her YouTube was still playing in the background because she'd been listening to spiritual music before she started attempting to communicate with whatever was present in her house. Now, while she's trying to enjoy some peace at her hotel, she's been sharing these old clips as a way to explain why she stepped away, to show people that she didn't give up. She simply couldn't keep going. And really, can anyone blame her? So, what exactly is she dealing with here? A demon? An angry spirit still claiming the home as its own? Or something else entirely? Something darker, older, and far beyond what any of us can understand? You decide. Now, in this next clip, a lady who's always complained about hearing footsteps on her stairs finally caught something on camera. Watch. Aside from the footsteps, the only thing she noticed at first were faint orbs, drifting softly like dust but moving with strange intention. It kept happening like this for weeks at random hours of the night, until one night, it wasn't just footsteps and orbs anymore. Watch.
The stairs are going again.
You can clearly see something moving slowly on the stairs. And for the first time, it wasn't just about the stairs. The chair in the corner moved right in front of her eyes. That was the moment she began to realize this might not be something simple or harmless. Many people believe she's dealing with an elderly spirit, perhaps someone who once lived there but never truly left. Others, however, have a different take. Some think it's not a ghost at all, but a residual echo, a kind of time imprint, where moments from the past replay over and over like a broken record, overlapping with our world in faint fragments. A few even suggested that what she's capturing might be a looped memory of the house itself, reanimating movements that belong to someone long gone. But whatever it is, it's getting worse, and now it's not just the stairs. It's starting to interrupt her sleep. One night around 2:47 a.m., this woke her up. Some say that step marks a threshold between the living and the dead, a point where energy gets trapped. Others argue it's a mimic, something pretending to be human, copying footsteps to lure attention before revealing its true form. But here's where the debate gets creepy. A few viewers pointed out something subtle. The sound pattern of the footsteps isn't consistent with a human stride. The rhythm is slightly off, as if whatever's climbing those stairs is learning how to walk. But until we get more updates on the situation, this one remains a mystery.